Hello dear students, Krishna Chaitanya Nagaraju here. Welcome you back for the course of Artificial Intelligence. We are discussing Unit 2, Knowledge and Reasoning. The topic is Propositional Logic is being continued in this video also. This will be the last video for the topic of Propositional Logic. We already discussed resolution by contradiction, that is refutation. We discussed how we can prove there is a pit in 1-2 of the Wumpus word, as well as Wumpus in 1-3. So we did see two of the mechanisms. We have tried making use of disjunctive normal form, conjunctive normal forms. We made use of CNF, and then we try to resolve the statements or the proofs. Now in this session we will see how we can resolve using forward chaining. Forward chaining and backward chaining are two important mechanisms using which we can prove the statements are true. But these require a special type of representation which includes Horn classes. So we will first see Horn classes, and then we will try to understand forward chaining and backward chaining. Then we will see one example to solve using forward chaining, and at the end we will try to see the algorithm for this particular forward chaining. So let's continue the last video pertaining to propositional logic. These are the learning outcomes expected from the topic of propositional logic of Unit 2. So Horn classes. What is a Horn class? Please remember, a Horn class is a class with at most one positive literal. There will be only one positive literal. That's a Horn class. Now, every Horn class can be rewritten as an implication with a conjunction of positive literals in the premises, and at most a single positive literal as a conclusion. So this is how I can write it back. And then one positive literal, that is a definite clause we can have. Zero positive literals, that in the sense fact or integrity constraints, we can look for. So this is how it can be rewritten. Now this actually forms the basis of logic programming, that is your maybe Prolog language. Using Prolog language or Lisp, like that we can explore further. Inference with Horn classes can be done through the forward chaining and backward chaining algorithms. Deciding entailment with Horn classes can be done in time that is linear in the size of knowledge base. So it would be depending on the size of the knowledge base. If there are n sentences, then O of n may be the size, linear in size. So what is forward chaining? It's very simple to understand. The forward chaining is like taking the information and moving ahead to prove something is true. It is like you have some raw facts with you, and you go on applying the resolutions on these premises and try to come to the conclusion, prove the conclusion, like what happens in investigations, right? So forward chaining we will try to understand. Forward chaining is working from the facts to a conclusion, sometimes also called as data driven approach. You are driven by the data to the goal. To chain forward, match data in working memory against conditions of rules in the rule base. So you have some rule base, consider the rules and go ahead as the rules give new conclusions. Based on new conclusion, further rules are applied, and ultimately you try to reach to your goal statement. So when one of them fires, this is liable to produce more data. So the cycle goes on continuing until you reach the goal. Now what happens in backward chaining? Backward chaining is working from the conclusion to the facts. That means coming backward. Sometimes called the goal driven approach. Okay. Generally we find this more in police and investigations as well as lawyer arguments. So to chain backward, match a goal in the working memory against conclusions of rules in the rule base. When one of them fires, this is liable to produce more goals, so the cycle continues. The choice of strategy depends on the nature of the problem. Either you can go for backward chaining or forward chaining. Both are good enough, but the choice depends on the problem. So backward chaining is best in case when you have the goal is given in the problem statement, or can be sensibly be guessed at the beginning of the conclusion. If goal is clear, then you can go for backward chaining. Forward chaining is best, when we have a situation, all the facts are provided with the problem statement, then using the facts you can go to the goal. So let us take the example of forward chaining. Idea is fire any rule whose premises are satisfied in the knowledge base and its conclusion to the knowledge base is added until you find the query. So let us look at this example. We are considering this one. We have P implies Q, L conjunction with M implies P, B conjunction with L implies M, A conjunction with P implies L, A conjunction with B implies L. A, B are the premises that are true. So we need to prove P implies Q. This is the one we need to prove. Now what we will do, we will have this sort of graph. We are making use of from these facts A, B, we need to reach to Q. So we will do it in this way. How many premises are leading us to L? That number we will give here, and once we apply the premise, we will reduce the number. So please observe this. If I am having L, then L is reached by A conjunction with P and A conjunction with B. So I can give 2 here. Likewise, the values are given. For example, P to Q, I have only one conjunction. One implication. So 1. When I fire this, I will make it 0. So likewise, I can show it. So this is what happens. Starting with AB, these are the values that can lead me to that particular premise or the conclusion. So AB can lead me to L, right? Once I get that, I will reduce the number to 1, 1, because that is fine. L can be reached from this, and then I have from B and L I can reach to M, that is also fine. But now from P and from PA also I can reach to L, but the problem is L is already visited, so I need not to visit again. So this is what happens. From P, L and M can give me P, but from P if I come to this AL, A and P will give me L, which is already visited. So I need to explore further from P, so that will lead me to Q, that I have used that implication. So I am getting P implies Q. This is how I am able to derive Q from the knowledge base. So this is like forward chaining, started from fact and came up to the goal that I want. Please once again observe. So these are the things what I am having. Started from AB. So L I can reach. That is the next node I could derive, and based on B and L I can reach M. Based on L and M I can reach to P. So from P there are no more premises that can lead me to M. So it is 0, and leading me to L from B is A and B to L is 0, that I already find. So now from P I can reach to L, but L is a visited node. So L is a already visited node, I am ignoring it. So now from P I can visit Q. Q is the one which I need to prove. So Q is entailed, that means Q is proved. That is the last thing. So this is the algorithm function for propositional logic forward chaining entailing a query. It could be true or false. So the knowledge base is there. KB is the knowledge base which has got a set of propositional horn classes, and Q is the query that we are going to fire on it. Now we will take a count, a table indexed by the clause, initially the number of premises, and then inferred is a table indexed by symbol, each entry initially false. And then we have a agenda, a list of symbols, initially the symbols known to be true in KB, like in our case A comma B. So take those things while agenda is not empty, while there are some more things which we need to visit. So while agenda is not empty, pop the agenda, pick up 1, 2, and then if P is equal to Q, that means whatever you picked up is the statement that you wanted to prove, then you are done. You can return true. Else you try to infer, making use of P, try to infer further. When you are inferring P, okay, make it true, and for each horn class C in whose premise P appear. Now using P, try to identify the harm classes where P appears and then decrement the count C. This is what we have done. That means that premise is used. If count C is equal to 0, that means there are no more harm classes. So you can push head of C into the agenda. That is done. So further you can go on likewise. If agenda is empty initially, then that is false. You are unable to find it. The forward chaining algorithm for propositional logic. This is from the Peter Norvig book. The agenda keeps track of symbols known to be true but not yet processed. So they are true but not yet processed. The count table keeps track of how many premises of each implication are as yet unknown. So number of implications which are not yet unknown. Whenever a new symbol P from the agenda is processed, the count is reduced by 1. Because we are processing that, we can reduce the count for each implication in whose premise P appears. Now, if a count reaches 0, that means all the premises are explored. All the premises of the implication are known, so its conclusion can be added to the agenda. Finally, we need to keep track of which symbols have been processed, and inferred symbols need not be added to the agenda. That means already visited if it has been processed previously. This avoids redundant work. So it also prevents infinite loops, because we should not, that is the reason why we have avoided L for the second time in the previous example. That could be caused by implications such as P implies Q and Q implies P. So this is your forward chaining algorithm. And the problem with propositional logic is the weakness what it has got. It is unable to represent all the information properly. Consider the situation: every person is mortal. Confucius is a person. So I can imply Confucius is a mortal. But this sort of information I cannot represent using prepositional logic, because prepositional logic does not support me for representing every person. Maybe I can represent Krishna is mortal, Krishna is a person, so something like this. But it is not possible to represent every person and replace it with Krishna. So this is not possible. This is major weakness of prepositional logic. So to avoid this, we will go for first order logic or predicate logic, that we will discuss from the next video sessions. Thank you. Happy learning. This is the summary of discussion what we have done till now.